Hello. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the how we continue the relationship with influencers after we had the initial reach out. So if you watched my previous video, I talked about the reach out template that we use to engage initially with influencers and to offer a free product with no strings attached for the purpose of building relationships and then hopefully getting some content and having them joining our brand ambassador program. So after we had the initial reach out, we usually see one of those four common responses from influencers. So one is interested, here is my address, or this is the product I'd like to receive. If you send them multiple options for a product, or they can respond with something like, I only do paid partnerships. Three is what do you expect in return for sending this product, which is a very common response, and we'll talk about it soon. Or something like thanks but no thanks, which is honestly the least common response because if they're not interested, they mostly just don't reply. But let's talk about each of those responses from influencers and how I suggest and how we basically answer each one of those. So if they just answer with something like, hey, I'm interested, here is my address, or here is the product that I like to get, you can see some of those responses here. That's the initial outcome that we hope to receive from the outreach. And then you can thank them, you can send them the tracking number, and of course be in touch with them before and after they receive the product. We'll talk about it soon. That's pretty straightforward. I really recommend also sending the tracking number so they can also anticipate receiving the product. The other response is no thanks, or I only do paid partnerships. So if they say no thanks, obviously you can just thank them for their attention. I really recommend still responding to that email or that DM just for the sake of your brand value. You can never know when they will engage with you in the future, so just keep it very friendly. If they said something like I only do paid partnerships, they might respond and saying, hey, I'd be happy to receive it, but just so you know, I only do paid partnerships. This is really up to you if you want to send them the product or not. Sometimes they'll be still happy to receive the product, but they just want to set the expectations that they will not post anything, or if you want them to post, so it will be paid. So it's really up to you and your budget. Usually if you have a low cost product, so I would recommend at least trying to send some of those, because you can never know where it could get you and what kind of relationships. Maybe they would really love the product, maybe they can refer you to someone else, maybe they will love the product and just post about it one day, maybe they will have like a day in my life and they show how they use your product or enjoyed your product. So it's really up to you, but don't expect much. If you do send them a product for free, don't expect much from that partnership. And this is the response that I really like the most, to be honest. So what do you expect in return? So here you can see an example of like, what type of video would you like to be done? Or let me know what product you'd want to send over. And if you're looking for specific content, sometimes it would be more in a sense of, do you expect anything in return for sending that product? And why the reason I really love that kind of response, because it allows us to stay in give mode, which most brands don't. They have the tendency to immediately ask for content if the influencer has offered something like that. So if they say like, what do you expect in return? Most brands would say, we really expect you to post 3 videos and 2 stories or whatever it is. But because our strategy is to say that we have no strings attached, what I really recommend you to respond in this scenario is to say, we actually don't expect anything in return. We really honestly would love your feedback on our product. If you can send us your thoughts about the product, if you have any ideas for improvement, if you'd like to see it in a different flavor or different color or whatever it is, this is where they are very surprised. And I really, really like it, because they do expect you to say something like, we expect 3 stories or 2 videos. But when you respond and keep on insisting that you don't expect anything in return, they will pay much of attention to your product when it arrives, and you will see long-lasting relationships when you do stay in this give mode. It's kind of like when it's kind of like in dating, when you don't want to bring a ring to your first date, or you don't want to say, yeah, I do expect to get married, and that's the first time you meet them. Most of the time that would not work, or it would just be a bit odd, or set the expectation to be I would say even sometimes awkward. And that's the same here with influencer relationships. So as much as it's tempting to say something like, we expect X amount of videos or stories, the more you can hold your ask, the better responses you will get, or the better relationships you will get moving forward. And we'll talk about it in future videos. I can show some examples. Now, the other response, by the way, that you can also receive is just asking for information about a product, if it's a supplement, or if you have different sizes or flavors, or any questions about ingredients, of if that's a food product. So, of course, just send them a link to your website, or send them a list of ingredients, and that's pretty obvious. Now, when they do receive the product, even before they receive the product, as I mentioned, I really recommend following up before. So saying something like, your product has been shipped. This is the tracking number. It should arrive by Friday. Please let me know when you received it. When you have a notification from your fulfillment center that they have received the product, email them again and reminding them that it's there. Say something like, I just want to make sure that's in good hands, and we'd love to hear your feedback. And when you get a chance to use it or taste it or whatever, just please send us your feedback. Now, just consider that they do receive a lot of products. So it might take sometimes even 2 weeks or 3 weeks until they actually open the package, which is very common. You usually, when you send out 30 or 50 packages to influencers, and you saw that they received it, you immediately want to get their feedback and see how they like it. But in reality, they might just open it immediately and provide you the feedback, and I'll show you some examples. But many times it will take them a few weeks until they actually open the package. So just have some patience here. Now, again, here, just ask for their feedback and nothing else. Don't say anything about posting. Don't say anything like that. One thing that you can do, and we'll talk about it here when they do send the feedback. And I really love seeing feedback from influencers, because when you genuinely express that you are very interested in their feedback, you'll get very detailed feedback on your product. And many times we see that they leave reviews on the site even before they post, which is super cool. So once they have sent you the feedback, thank them, be super excited about their feedback. Even if you can continue the conversation and telling them your future plans about your product development or new products that you have in line, that would be really cool. Because again, it's all about building relationship. It's like a funnel. When you reach out to 1,000 influencers, 200 would agree to receive your product, 100 would really like it, or 50 would really like it, and then you keep the conversation, very deep conversations, for a month with, let's say, even 30 of them. But those 30 would be very meaningful relationships that you can nurture and turn into content creators and brand ambassadors for your brand. So it's really about deepening the relationship. As much as it's the top of funnel of this funnel is very much a numbers game, just reaching out to as many relevant as possible, but then really deepening the relationships with the ones who expressed how they love the product. And you can see some examples of very exciting reviews about the product, which is super cool. And eventually, after they receive the product and they express how they like it, you will see them just posting about you, creating videos. You can't see that, but these are some of them are videos here, reviews, unboxing experiences, day in my life. Influencers always look for more content to create for things that they like. So it's not that you necessarily ask them for something. If you don't ask them for anything, it's just that they have tried a product that they liked, and now they're going to talk about it with their audience and share how to use it and how cool it is. And that's a win-win-win for everybody, because they too are also looking for content for more ideas to content around things that they like and things from their own lives. So, but when you don't make it as a transactional relationship, when you don't ask for anything, they feel like they can share how they like the product without any stress, or without feeling inauthentic, without feeling that they have to do it, or their audience might feel that they did it to get something out of it. Because you can use all of that content in your pitch deck, in your website, on your email list, and you can genuinely say that those influencers have posted about your product and they are raving about your product without you asking them for anything. You didn't pay them anything. They're just like customers. They just received the product for free, but no one asked them or made them make these reviews to get the product for free, right? So they did it intentionally, and their audience can also feel it. So when you have content from influencers, you really want the audience to also feel that it's genuine. And it's very hard to fake authenticity in video. So this is why I really like video content as well when influencers creating content. But if they use it every day on, for example, here when they ride, or if it's a supplement and they have like a day in the life, or my morning routine or something like that, or my workout routine, that's very genuine, and you'll see the content coming out much, much better than paid content or paid creators or paid partnerships. Now, the next stage with those influencers, after they posted once, this is where you really want to deep the relationship with them. You still don't have to offer them joining your brand ambassador program, but this is something that you can see from how the conversation is going. Some of them will ask you for a referral code so they can, I think here you can see an example. Yeah, so you can see a code for 20%. Use this code for 20% off. Some of them will ask you for a code so they can share it. Some of them will add a link to their bio with their referral code to get some commissions. But one thing that I really recommend is to offer more products, especially if you're a consumable product like food or supplement or makeup brand or something like that. Just offer more products so you can follow up with them 2 weeks, 3 weeks after they receive the product, and they ask, hey, how do you like this product? Do you use it? Use it every day? Do you need more? Do you need to send some more? And even if they have not posted, but they are very relevant, that they keep the conversation with you, they would like you to they would like to keep that conversation going and that relationship going, because they understand that they have a talent that they can now monetize. So if they like a certain pre-workout or a supplement, before they will go and spend money on it, whether it's your brand or another brand, they would prefer to spend 30 seconds of their lives and create some content around it, because they really love the product. So they love to share it with their audience, and they know that they can get free product every month, for example, from you. And all they have to do is spend, a minute of their life creating some content around it. And they also have great content for their audience. So it's really a win-win-win when you think about it as a relationship rather than just a way to extract something from those influencers. Now, the other thing, and that's the most valuable thing that you can do with our relationships, is ask for usage rights for that content, and use this content as your ads. And we can see across the board that authentic user-generated or influencer-generated content is the best way to create ads that really work, and what you call feed stopping ads. Because essentially the value that we have as advertisers on the ad platforms like Meta, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is not how to hack the algorithm. Is really to feed them with content that would make users to pay attention. Now, when you work with creators, that's what they do for a living. They know how to create content that would resonate with your audience, which happen to be your audience as well. So you can have an army of creators who create original content from multiple angles with multiple hooks that, they know how to create content more than, you and I and any copywriter and any, ad creative guy out there, because they know the audience. That's what they do for a living. And you can have 100 of them doing that for you every month, because it has a compound effect. When you reach out to more and more influencers every month, you have more and more influencers who create content for you. So you can always have fresh creatives up to test out with your ad campaigns and see what worked better and scale the ones that do. But just remember to ask for usage rights first. Usually they agree. They might want to ask for like, maybe some of them will ask for like $50 or $100, but this is for the content that you really like, and then you want to use as ads. It's a small money, it's just a small payment, uh, based on the compared to the value that you could get. I'm sorry, from those ads. But most of them will not ask for anything. Maybe you can I really recommend sending them another product as a courtesy for the usage rights. And then rinse and repeat. Just do it over and over and over again. The influencers that really worked well on your ads, you can maybe think of collaborating with them on a deeper level and ask them maybe for weekly content or monthly content to be created for you. Then you maybe can pay them, but then you do it on a stage where you really trust their content and you've proved that it's been working and you can acquire customers profitably with their content. Now, the little trick that I really, really like is to also offer them to refer you to another creator friend that they have with similar audience, and say something like, hey, we have a few more units we can send, or a few more products that we can hand out. Do you have any a creator friend with similar content to yours that you'd like us to send a product on your behalf? And then you can have warm introductions to 2 or 3 other creators, and that creates a warm introduction for you, so they're most likely to pay attention to it, and it also raises the value, and raises the goodwill bar for the influencer who referred you to them. So again, that's a win-win-win. And again, it's all about thinking about those relationships as real relationships. And this is why I don't really like the term influencer marketing, because influencers are essentially people like you and me and your customers. So essentially you just want to open and deepen the relationships with them. They just happen to have great talent creating content, and they have their audience, which is also your audience, listening to them and influenced by them. So it's not about marketing to influencers, it's about relationships and developing relationships with influencers. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. And my only tip for you is just go out and do it. Go out, research, reach out, and engage with those influencers. If you have any question, feel free to DM me, comment, or email me, and I'll be happy to help. I really, really like you to win with influencer partnerships. So I hope that was helpful for you, and I'm here for you for any question.